Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
49 faces looked to him in triumph. Over the last 12 months, they had each taken turns and promoted his business for a week at a time, driving over $987,342 in revenue. What if you had a network of 50 centers of influence who promoted your business every week for a year? Grab your copy of the #1 Amazon best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Growing Your Business with a Podcast, at 33% off the Amazon price by going to ultimatepodcastbook.com. Again, that website for 33% off the Amazon price is ultimatepodcastbook.com. Welcome to the podcast. This is your co-host, Seth Greene. I have the good fortune today to welcome back a repeat guest and longtime friend, Jack Turk, who at one point was the chief copywriter for Dan Kennedy / Glazer Kennedy Insider Circle / Magnetic Marketing. He's gone on to even better and bigger things since then that we're going to hear all about. Jack, thank you so much for joining us.
Seth, it's just a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me on.
Our pleasure. So let's go back in time a little bit, because the last time you and I talked was years ago. How did you originally get started, and how did the role with GKIC and Dan Kennedy come about?
Oh, okay. Well, I got into copywriting. I was working at Microsoft for many, many years, and as a tech writer and game designer and project manager and all that crap. But I always wanted to be a magician. Always wanted to be a magician. And that's when I learned about Dave D. I bought his, I saw him like the Magic magazine, the linking ring, the IBM stuff, and it had about like, want to make $100,000 as a magician? I thought, well, God, hey, I'm kind of bored with what I'm doing here. Let's see. So I got that report, free report, and of course it was a sales letter. So I bought Dave's stuff, and I got that report, bought his toolkit, bought more toolkits, signed up with Dave for everything, became his mastermind guy. And eventually started doing stuff for Dave. Dave liked that I actually did things, I implemented, I took action, that kind of stands out, that's a good way to, just show up, and he started hiring me to do stuff. He started hiring me to do more and more stuff. And eventually I bought Dave's info business to magicians. I left Microsoft to become a magician, and I did that. I became an info marketer selling Dave my own stuff and Dave's thing. And Dave just liked what I was doing. When he went on to GKIC, he brought me on as head copywriter. And I had to pass a little test, can you sound like Dan? And I'm old and Midwestern and kind of grumpy, and it was a breeze, what the heck.
Awesome. Well, I know the long version of that story can go probably fill a book somewhere if it hasn't already. You and I have a number of things, as you know, in common. The magician learned from Dave D, went to Dan Kennedy, learned the marketing, grew separate businesses off of that. So let's talk about the cool stuff that you're up to now.
Well, right now I'm plugging the Little Blue Book, which is MAGA Marketing Secrets, 47 Trump-tested hacks for building a big, beautiful business. I had this idea at Funnel Hacking Live back in February. I had seen, Dan Kennedy once again inspired me. I went to the Day with Dan, and one of the things Dan said was, be willing to be controversial, be willing to step outside your comfort zone, be willing to stand out and just go where others aren't willing to go. And I thought, God, that's pretty inspiring and like challenging. It is challenging, because I'm Seth, I'm like, I want everybody to love me. That's just how I am. I'm a middle child. I got a big sister, a big brother, a little sister, and so they're like, yeah, I'm okay, everybody's cool, And so like doing something controversial is just not me. But I had, well, God, Trump's been did some pretty amazing things in his campaign. His last campaign for 2024 was amazing. I mean, just so many things. I thought, well, has anybody written a marketing book about that? And I looked, and there's nothing on Amazon. Nobody written a book about marketing tactics or strategies from the Trump campaign. So I bought the URL magamarketingsecrets.com at the airport while I'm waiting for my plane to show up. I got the airport real early. I mean, I had like a couple hours before I get, and I just brainstormed the book for like, I just hammered on it for like a couple hours and just kept on. And I actually wanted to get the book done for his 100th day in office. That was my goal. So that basically gave me just like 2.5 months. And I wrote this book in 2.5 months. And I am proud as punch over this book. I feel like it's not a huge book. It's like the little blue book. I kind of think like, Mao had the little red book. I have the little blue book, with a little bit of red on the cover, So I was just honestly, I was kind of rereading it this morning because I wanted to be like somewhat prepared. And damn, it's good. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm really happy with it. So
Well, congratulations. There are so few people who would take action. Maybe some would even think to get the domain. Some would take a couple years to get the book done if they got it done at all. You got it done in a land speed record time. Full disclosure, as soon as you launched it, I bought a copy, thought it was absolutely incredible. I think every couple pages I have it dog-eared, underlined, highlighted. Honestly, I think you're way underselling it. It could be if it's not, it could be a separate whole marketing course. It could be an info product how to market like Trump. I love that you didn't shy away from the controversy because you're going to repel, all the people who are politically opposed to him, all the marketers and business owners who are politically opposed to him. You wrote 47 secrets, things that you learned from analyzing Trump's marketing, politics aside. What were some of the biggest breakthroughs, epiphanies, ahas you had that you learned from analyzing how Trump marketed?
I think I came up with like basically 100. I wanted to do 100 for the first 100 days in office, but I couldn't. I learned I couldn't get that done in time, so I scaled it back. There's like my Microsoft project management hat. I think just have fun. That's one of the hacks, and I think it's something that that's why I think one of the reasons he won. I mean, there's a lot of reasons he won, but you could just tell during that campaign he was having a good time. He was having a good time. He's having a great time now. I mean, obviously, at this point in time in history, he's had a pretty good run, okay, as of today's date, etc. And it could all go south, But regardless, he's having a good time. And I think that's such a valuable message for business owners. That business is so serious. We have to do the SWOT analysis and all this other crap. We got to do and damn it, if you're not having fun doing your business, if this is like, God, who was talking about like if you got handled like somebody said, like, what the question is, if you got handled like win the lottery, you got $50 million, okay, boom, you got $50 million, and like, would you go to work the next day? Is your business that cool to you? Is it really that fat? Do you really love what you do so much that wouldn't matter because what you're doing? It's so core to your being and your personality and your life, and it just matters so much. You love it so much. That's kind of what I think. Trump didn't need to do this. Honestly, he didn't. He just wanted to do that. He loves it so much. So I think that's probably that's one of the biggest lessons. I think one of the biggest takeaways in the entire book. Have more fun.
It's fascinating that that's the first one that you picked, as opposed to a specific direct response or marketing tactic that you went to have fun, because that'll make everything work better if you're enjoying it. So let's dive a little deeper in there. If you're not having fun, how can Jack Turk help me have more fun in my business?
I think some of the things you need to do. Hey, are you serving the right crowd? I mean, that's one of the first, that is one of the first things, actually the first point in the book. And point number one is give them what they want. It's all about, Halbert's classic starving crowd analogy, the metaphor of like the burger stand on the beach. Like what's the key thing to success? It's not a bun. It's not the great beef. It's not great condiments. It's like you got a starving crowd there. And I think that's really key to your fun. Are you serving people you want to help? Do you really care? I mean, it was really when I did the magic stuff, okay? When I was doing info marketing for magicians. My God, I love doing that because I love magicians. I've been a magician since I was, basically 5 years old. I mean, it's always been part of my life, and I've done gigs. I've done thousands of gigs. I've done thousands of gigs. All right, but I love magicians. So that was an easy crowd for me to be engaged with. I mean, and so I think that's one of the key things in your business. It's like, do you really like the people you're serving? Because if you don't, that's like, God, what a horrible existence that must be. Think about it. So I think that's what you think.
Yeah, I think that absolutely makes sense. So have fun, serve the right people. We obviously want everybody to go get the book, and we don't want to give away all the secret sauce, but give us one or two more of the big lessons from Trump's 2024 marketing campaign.
I think one of the key things, it's about control the narrative. I think and this is not even 2024. I mean, obviously it was like all Trump all the time. He's certainly occupying space in people's minds rent free, and that's just how he is. It's all Trump all the time. He's so good about it. You have to be omnipresent all the time. It's like, and I know it's so much work, and this is what is the thing I think Dan talked about? Like, there's an example from Kennedy of this one. I think it was a chiropractor who was in one town. He's looking at his competitor in like another town, and this guy was like just killing the other town. The other guy's going, "What am I doing? And he just went down, the list of everything this chiropractor is doing. He's going this ding ding, sending out letters, sending out books, appearing on stages, just this long laundry list. And the guy said, "Well, of course, just look at everything he does," and that's key. It's all the time. Now that may seem overwhelming, but my God, we are in such a wonderful age of automation and AI, and the tools are getting so much better, so much easier to be ever. I mean, one of the things I did for this promotion recently was I built cartoons using Google's VO product, VO3. And I prompted them. I was actually scripting out and doing and producing cartoons to promote the book. How many small? It's just me. It's like I don't know. It's like I didn't hire like a bunch of people in the Philippines or even anybody in LA, whatever. I did it myself. And that's you have such capabilities now. It's such amazing opportunities. So that's one. Be everywhere all the time. Money loves speed. Dan's recommendation, fantastic. Don't sit on an idea. I mean, that's probably if you get one idea from this podcast, maybe it's like, okay, I could do this in my market. I'm like, good, do that. Don't what if we ship it. That's like my favorite Microsoft quote was. The average project manager can get to 90% done. Anybody can get to 90% done. That extra 10%. That's the key. Get it done. Get it out the door. Get over that it's not going to be perfect. It won't be perfect. This is not, it's not a perfect book. It's not the perfect book. Okay. I actually found some typos in it, and I'm pretty persnickety about typos. But I think if you buy the book, you find the typo, let me know, and I'll send you a bonus for free. Okay. The one typo has to do with Martha Stewart. There's something in there about Martha Stewart that I goosed up. All right. And I forget where it was exactly, but I noticed it once. But I didn't care. Get it out there. Those are key lessons.
Yeah, that is great advice for our folks watching or listening. In addition to the book, who's an ideal client for you, and how do you help businesses grow?
I have been working a lot with coaches, and I mean, my whole background is basically helping info marketers and coaches and thought leaders, and helping them really nail their message, nail their business model, come up with compelling ways to communicate and expand their product offering. I build you talk about the building a product. Yeah, I've already got the ideas for building this into a product. Yeah, there's no question about that. Far bigger. So that's something I do for people a lot, is help them expand their business model. Obviously I do copywriting and messaging and all that stuff, but I'm getting your stuff done. I'm a big fan of I also teach copywriters. Stop thinking of yourself as a copywriter. You are a project manager in charge of delivering marketing assets. And that's, copywriting is part of it. I mean, copywriting is a key tool, key skill, but I'm more in charge. I'm in charge of getting your marketing assets done and out the door so you can start making money. So that's kind of what I do.
I love it. For our folks watching and listening, where is the best place for them to go to get a copy of the book?
You can get a free, I'll give you 3 free hacks at operationovaloffice.com. But I'm still working on getting this into Trump's hands. Yes, I did a big pitch to do it by July 4th. I'm still working on that. That didn't quite happen. He had a few other things going on. I guess if you have to, he had internationally, nationally, that's okay. I'm going to make this a goal for the next. It's going to happen by the 250th anniversary of the country. I think that's certainly a doable, achievable goal to stand there on the die with President Trump and hold this book up and have it, as the fireworks are going off. That's sort of my goal for that. But operationovaloffice.com.
That would be awesome. Well, good luck with that. For our folks who want to learn more about working with you, where is the best place for us to send them to go to learn about you?
That's actually probably MAGAmarketingsecrets.com has got stuff about the book. It's got stuff about me. There's a little bio of me. I got some media stuff there too. And
awesome. Well, this has been Seth Greene with Jack Turk. Check out Operation Oval Office. Check out MAGA Marketing Secrets. Jack, thanks so much for coming back, and thanks for writing an awesome book.
Thank you, sir. My pleasure.
Thanks everybody for watching or listening. We will talk to you or see you next time.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.